If you raise 40 millions and you pay your account executive 40K on target earning, we have a problem. And this is the problem I've seen all around in the Italian market right now. So this video is really about how you should pay your first account executive or your first SDR if you are a startup that has raised money. First of all, you can see here a couple of job posts, and one is a successful startup that is 40 million paying an account executive in Milan 50K OTE, which means on target earning, but we'll get there later. This is another one paying a BDR team lead, so a manager of 10, 12, 5, 7 people, 70K OTE. OTE means basic salary plus commissions. And these companies have millions in the bank. And I don't have millions in the bank, so that's why I can do this video. That's right. I understand this, but this is not really about funding anymore. It's really about the principle that are applied to early stage startups and paying the first account executive. And this is what I want to go through today. So first of all, how basic salary and commission works and what's this OTE, on target earning. So usually a salesperson doesn't really contemplate only the basic salary. A salesperson, because of the sales job, which is of course selling, you have two-way salary and payment structure. One is your basic salary, which should be around, let's say 50-70% the total pay. And then you have your commission, which are usually tied to a sales goal, and those can account for 30-50% of your pay in total. So I have here in the screen an explanation of it, right? So OTE means on target earnings, which means the total amount of money that you're bringing home if you hit your number. And usually your numbers are set by the company. So if you hit your sales goal, you're gonna bring home your basic salary plus your commission. Keep this in your head. The wrong way is what's going on right now in Italy. So Italy has been for many years behind tech startups and the tech sales let's say environment. But right now I have to say, post-COVID, I've seen a race. So I've seen so many startups like coming up and very successful ones. Some are very strong, like raising lots of money, like in the 30, in the 40, in the 50 millions, even in Series A and Series B, which we had never seen in Italy, like just 5 years ago. But the problem is they're still paying too low. And Italy is a huge problem in salaries, and we understand that. I don't want to go there. But the problem that I see here, the wrong way, is that if these companies have 40 millions in the banks at the end of the year, how can they pay 40K? So this is a real problem, and usually this problem comes from the product. Why? Because the problem is not the salesperson. It's because the founders think that because their product is not expensive, so they're selling an average contract value of 4K or 3K per client, they think that they should pay their account executive less. But this is not a rep problem. We understand from, successful US and international companies that if you do have an ACV, average contract value, that is lower than 5K, you shouldn't even have salespeople selling. You should have a great product that is able to drive people to onboard themselves. So you don't really need the salesperson. But the problem is that it's very hard to do that in Italy. So how to pay your first sales rep? So usually I do have a sort of compensation benchmark that you can see attached here. The compensation benchmark, it usually depends on the people that you are looking for. So if you're looking for an SDR, you're looking at SDR, a sales development representative, usually we have around from 30 to 40K OTE. So an SDR cannot be paid much, unfortunately, because they are very junior. So they are people that usually potentially it's the first sales job and they don't close revenue. They bring, of course, opportunities to us, but then out of the opportunities that they bring to us, we need to add ourselves. So we need to sell ourselves, and usually from a qualified opportunity, you close, if you're really good, 3 out of 10. But then we have account executive. The base for an account executive should be around 35 to 45,000 euros base. That's the base. You need to give at least 40K is a good, for a mid-market SMB account executive is a good start. And then on top, you should add commission. And usually you can go up to 40K, so you can do a 50-50 split, so let's say 80K on target earning, or you can do less. So it's very important that if you are then selling to bigger organizations, so if you have an account executive selling to enterprise, you pay more. And you can pay an account executive up to 300,000 euros. It doesn't really matter because, I mean, Anthropic, I was looking at an account executive in Dublin, I think is around from 150 to 200K. That's normal. They're gonna give you potentially a 1-2 million quota. You have a very successful product like Claude and Anthropic Enterprise and so on. You will earn lots of money, but you also bring lots of money. My name is Matteo. I'm the founder of InScaler. At InScaler, I help early stage founders build and scale the first sales team, the first sales process, the first playbook, the first hire, the first CRM. You don't need to do this alone. You can do it with me, and I will fast track for sure, avoiding all the mistakes I've done in my career and making sure that you don't make those mistakes and you go faster to scale. If you have any questions, if you want to know how to work with me, you can send me an email, matteo@inscaler.com, or you can leave me a comment on the YouTube video that you're watching. Thank you for watching again, and back to the video. So you always need to take this in consideration. When you have an OTE on target earning, you want to have at least 3 to 5x the OTE, which should be the quota of the salesperson. Also, don't forget the ramp up. So if you are giving me only a basic salary that is too low and you're not gonna pay commission when I ramp up, which means until I hit my goals or I hit a certain percentage of achievement in the scale, that's another problem, because I may have bad months and it may take to me 3 to 6 months to ramp up. And what happens? I don't pay the rent, I don't pay the mortgage because I have only the basic salary, which was by definition low. So also remember that when you have a salesperson, you have a ramp up period, which usually takes 3 to 6 months, and you should have a commission that can cover at least some of it. Or better, you should have a basic salary that covers at least some of it. So just to bring this home, the fact that you are gonna say unlimited commission, no cap commission, you can earn hundreds if you reach your goal, that's wrong. You should pay fairly first. You should give an account executive who is in a 40 million funded startup at least 40-50K base, and then on top you add commission. That's the right one, because you're gonna give them the right strategy, the right playbook, but also the right pay. And you're gonna give them, if you have a great product, you're gonna give them also a great product to sell, and I'm sure that you will recoup those money very soon. But if you have an account executive that earns less than that, like 20, 25, 30K, and they have a bad month, they're gonna be scared because they don't know how to pay again their rent or their mortgage or whatever. So it's very, very, very important that you have a safe base, that is a safe net for them. And again, I'm all up for commission. I'm all up for accelerator. I'm all up for earning lots of money if you do 200, 300, 400%. But don't forget that the base should be safe. So let me know what you think, and drop in the comments your thoughts if you think this is fair or unfair, and hopefully you find this interesting and potentially inspiring. And until next time, see you on the other side.